But then Biden started saying such stupid things. For instance, he said that it can.
Oh, welcome. It's the Dead Wolves review right now. So watching Andrew Tate's live. What's up, Professor Ghost here? What's up, with people? What's up, good people? So yeah, Professor Ghost here. My bad, y'all. So yeah, we in here. So my man Andrew Tate. Everyone covered this. He's covering Donald Trump. He's giving his input, so it's alive.
People.
Wow.
And Ukraine's having a hard time. Ukraine, I don't know if you saw the article recently, and it's true. You don't hear the true story, but if you think about it, Russia's gone. Russia defeated Germany with us, and they defeated Napoleon. They've been around a long time. They're a big fighting force, and it's very unfair. And Ukraine now doesn't have enough men. They're now using young men and very old men to fight, and we're in a very bad position. And I'm not going to blame exclusively, but I can tell you I could have stopped that, and a smart president could have stopped that. It wouldn't have happened. But we had a man that actually made it more prevalent. It was so bad. The words that he was using, the stupid threats coming from a stupid face that he was using. I said, this guy's going to cause us a war. He's going to cause us. And let me tell you, it can lead to World War III. That can lead to World War III. The Middle East can lead to. We have numerous places that could end up in World War III right now for no reason whatsoever.
I think you're right.
For no reason.
I think people underrate the risk of World War III, and it's just when you're looking at the risk of global thermonuclear warfare, it's game over for humanity, and it's something that people have. I think after the end of the Cold War, people have become complacent about, but they actually have forgotten that there are currently a lot of nuclear missiles that have targeting parameters for the United States from 100%. Other countries.
And one of the things we're going to do is we're going to build an Iron Dome over us. Israel has it. We're going to have the best Iron Dome in the world. We need it, and we're going to make it all in the United States. But we're going to have protection.
Did you miss?
Because it just takes one maniac to start something. We're going to have protection, and we're going to have. Why shouldn't we have an Iron Dome? Israel has one. Some other places have one that nobody even knows about, frankly. But Israel has it. We're going to have an Iron Dome. But with all of that being said, to me that's so important, the most important. But with all of that being said, the election's coming up, and the people want to hear about the economy and the fact that they can't buy groceries because they don't have enough money to buy groceries. The inflation has killed them. Food prices are up 50, 60, even 100% in some cases. And this stupid administration allowed this to happen, and it's a shame. And that's the thing that people most care about, in my opinion. They care about the border a lot. And we discuss the border at great length. It's nice to have a forum like this where I can discuss something at length. And by the way, you think Biden could do this interview? Do you think that Kamala could do this interview? They would take a pass on you.
No, they could not.
So they don't need Elon. They don't need Elon screaming out questions. It's pretty sad when you think that somebody that does this for a living can't answer a question or is afraid to do an interview. And in her case, with a very
pretty
friendly,
sad that the leader of the free world, the leader of the most important country on the planet, is scared to do an interview. I do interviews. I'm a kickboxer, and I destroy these reporters. Surely the president of the most powerful nation on earth should be comfortable destroying reporters that have an adversarial attitude towards him in an interview. But no. In fact, I've been through more difficult interviews than Kamala Harris has ever been through in her life, or Joe Biden in modern history. The only interviews they get are soft shills where they have people completely on their side, questions sent in advance, no pressure whatsoever. Andrew Tate, the kickboxer, has been through more of the meat grinder in regards to interviews than any of the possible candidates for the free world besides Donald Trump. Isn't that incredible? It's wild.
They're using all their money and borrowing money just to live. It's a horrible thing that's happening. And we'll end that quickly.
Well, I think a lot of, a lot of people just don't understand where inflation comes from. Inflation comes from government overspending because the checks never bounce when it's written by the government. So if the government spends far more than it brings in, that increases the money supply. And if the money supply increases faster than the rate of goods and services, that's inflation. So really, we need to have we need to reduce our government spending, and we need to re-examine. I think we need like a government efficiency commission to say like, hey, where are we spending money that's sensible? Where is it not sensible? Right. And we need to live within our means. We're currently adding, I think, $1 trillion to the deficit roughly every 100 days.
That's right.
And the interest payments on the national debt have now exceeded the defense budget. Wow. It's on the order of $1 trillion.
It's interest,
and it keeps growing.
I rebuilt our military, largely rebuilt our military. Did a great job on it, which was so important. We had jets, we had fighters that were and bombers that were 70 years old, and we did a great job in that. Then we gave $85 billion of it back to Afghanistan, if you can believe it. We gave them $85 billion. They're one of the largest sellers of military equipment in the world. They're selling what we gave them. That was one of the most embarrassing days in the history of our country. But if you think about, let's go back to the economy.
I understand perhaps leaving a tank behind. Let's imagine there's one road out of Afghanistan. Let's imagine all the air transport and all the air cargo is full. Let's imagine the road is no longer secure or the road is backlogged. Because if there's one bad road and one truck can travel at 10 miles per hour, it will not take long for there to be an entire backlog and a 1 week traffic jam. Fine. How do you leave a helicopter or a plane, put a pilot in it and fly it? That is simply just incompetence. That is laziness. That is simply just not caring very much. There's no other excuse for leaving aircraft behind. Unbelievable.
That has to come down. When that comes down, and we're going to drill, baby, drill. They stopped drilling, and then they went back to drilling because they went back to the Trump policy. But if they won the day after they get into office, this country will go out of business because they're going to go to an energy policy that's not sustainable. Wind and different things. You're not going to have anything. Yeah. And I know you're a big fan of the AI. And I have to say that AI, and this is shocking to me, but AI requires.
It's like, what's good? Welcome to Deadwoods. Welcome to Deadwoods, your boy, Professor Ghost. But if you're just tuning in right now, Andrew Tate right now he's covering the latest Donald Trump interview. He's speaking about, policies, Kamala Harris, Biden, Democrats, and all that. So right now, what he's touching on is basically what is the truth, like why we should be voting Republican. Like it's not a fact. Like, well, it is a fact. It's not a joke, I should say. It's not a joke. Like, seriously, guys, this is not a popularity contest. This is not about popularity. Like, if it was, look how this is going. It is going the wrong way. You have white people that are voting and rooting for Kamala, and the natives, we're rooting for Trump. Like, are you guys not seeing? Like, you guys, like, just pay attention, man. Just pay attention.
Requires twice the energy that the country won. That's with Boeing, which is basically two planes, two 747s. And the price was $5.7 billion for two planes. Now, now they're highly sophisticated.
That's insane.
They're even nicer than your plane, okay? But much more sophisticated. They're very, I won't say what's on it, but they got a lot of stuff on it. Anyway, but it's 5.7.
That's a crazy number.
It's a crazy number. But I said, I'm not going to pay 5.7. I'm not going to do it. I said, who made the deal? Obama and his people. I said, well, then I know the deal's no good. I'm not going to do it. And over a course of about 4 weeks.
Hey, Kill. He's not even taking a jab. Like, and this is no jab. Like, Obama, you know. Me and I know politics. I'm smarter than the average nigga. You ain't really do shit for us, bro.
By my saying I'm not going to do it, I got the price reduced by $1.6 billion for the exact same plane, other than we had a nicer paint job, if you want to know the truth. But for the exact same plane, I saved one. And I said to Boeing, man, you guys must make a lot of money.
Trump cares.
The price by that.
He wants to make sure that the public money, the taxpayers' dollar, is not being wasted. He cares. Isn't it amazing that he's saying that nobody negotiates the prices of anything in the U.S. government, so they're just happy to be rinsed endlessly?
I'm sorry. Thanks for tuning it in. But It's crazy. You guys criticize Trump so much, but during the pandemic, where do you think that money was coming from? Who do you think stopped the money flow from going from overseas? And like, no, that was Trump, people. He's for the people. I don't give a fuck what you may think about that man. That man's not racist. That man is an American. There's a difference between being a real patriot and a racist. Okay? That's the real thing. That's the real thing. We are looking at the glass half full. We're not looking at the big picture. The big picture, these people like the Proud Boys and all that, a lot of them aren't racist. They're confused. Because when it really come down to it, when you guys really pay attention to that riot, it wasn't even about privilege. They were actually fighting for everybody. They were actually doing the right thing. That's what we should have been doing. Those were nothing but Republicans. If you really think about it, and if you really look at what January 6th really was, what it really fucking was. I did my research, and I really found out what January 6th really was, and I really don't feel bad. Only thing I still feel bad is that if it was just natives, like if it was us natives, oh, man, lethal force, man, they wouldn't even need to go. They wouldn't even need a go word when they for lethal force. They'd be like, hey, the shit we just built back there, bring that shit out, Mo. Hey.
Large money laundering operation. And he's the only president who sat there and said that's too expensive for Air Force One or for anything ever.
Multiply that out times thousands of other items.
Multiply it by
the numbers are astronomical. I agree with you.
Trump is for the people.
Well, I mean,
Trump is for the people.
I mean, I think it would be great to just have a government efficiency commission that takes a look at these things and just ensures that the taxpayer money, the taxpayers' hard-earned money, is spent in a good way. And I'd be happy to help out on such a commission.
I'd love
if it were formed.
Well, you're the greatest cutter. I mean, I look at what you do. You walk in and you just say, you want to quit? They go on strike. I won't mention the name of the company, but they go on strike and you say, that's okay. You're all gone. You're all gone. So every one of you is gone. And you are the greatest. You would be very good. Oh, you would love it. But, if you look at Argentina.
Well, I'd be happy to help
by the way, congratulations. Yeah. I just looked at the number of people that are listening to you and I chat. We'll call it a chat. But congratulations. This is very good. I mean, it's great. And you're an interesting character.
How can you listen to anything that has been said thus far and disagree? How can you be a functioning adult and disagree with anything he said thus far? You need a border. You need the president of the most dangerous and most formidable country on the planet to be competent. You need to check the prices of things before you agree to spend taxpayers' money. Like, what has he said that's even outlandish?
We need the wars to stop. We need to produce our own energy. We need groceries to be affordable.
We need people to stop dying. How is this right wing? How is this controversial? Who can be listening to this and disagree with a single word he said unless they're literally clinically insane? It's unbelievable that anybody could even listen to this and say anything other than fantastic, I agree.
Let's vote for this guy.
Anyone who disagrees with what this person says is not qualified to vote.
They're not quite. Thank you. If you
the government overspending and not spending taxpayer money effectively, and having just so many departments you can't even name them all. And what Milei is doing is he's cutting government spending. He's simplifying things. He's putting in regulations that make.
All right, hold on. I gotta say this. You're letting people vote that don't know nothing about politics. These people can't even tell you they're like local city trash pickup company. Like this, that's how fucking sad it is. And these are the like oh Jesus. All right. So people have to have policies. It's like, do you guys know what Kamala Harris policies are? Why do like She talks about buses. Come on, America. She talks about buses. What? If that's what y'all want to lead this country, I just gotta go. I gotta get my family. I gotta go because if Trump don't win, I gotta leave this country. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like America isn't for me after this, Mo. Oh my God.
Makes sense, and we're Argentina overnight is experiencing a giant improvement in prosperity. But it's also a lesson for the United States, which is that Argentina used to be one of the most prosperous countries in the world. In the 30s, 40s, and because of bad government policy, it ruined the country. And if you take Venezuela, for example, Venezuela should be incredibly prosperous. They have phenomenal reserves of everything, oil, everything, and it should be prosperous. But if the government's wrong, it impoverishes the people. And so I think we should not be complacent in the United States in thinking that and taking our prosperity for granted, because if with bad government policy, we can run the country into the ground. And that's just something people should bear in mind. Don't take prosperity for granted.
Well, think of education. So we're ranked at the bottom of every list of the top 40.
In the Western world.
We're ranked number 40, number 38. Norway, Switzerland, Sweden, different countries are ranked good. Actually, China's pretty close to the top. They're a top 6 or 7. But we're ranked at the bottom, almost at the bottom, 38, 39, 40. In other words, horrible. And yet we spend more per pupil than any other country in the world. So we spend more. And what I'm going to do, one of the first acts, and this is where I need an Elon Musk. I need somebody that has a lot of strength and courage and smarts. I want to close up Department of Education, move education back to the states where states like Iowa, where states like Idaho, not every state will do great because states that basically aren't doing good now. You look at Gavin Newsom, the governor of California. He's terrible. He does a terrible job. So he's not going to do great with education. But of the 50, Trump, I would bet that 35 would do great.
Let me say that. I got another thing to say. Like, besides 50 Cent, Trump is the master troller. Like, this guy's a walking platform. Like, yo, this is not the dude you want to troll. Like, he can make you and break you. Just that quick. But yet and still, people want to say they're against him. So many people hate him. But yet, his words give so much power. I just want people to understand this. This is what this live is about. This is what Andrew Tate live is about.
15 of them.
This message out, like, if you understand,
a lot of people are concerned about the economy. A lot of people are concerned about inflation. And inflation is effectively a tax on people that save money and for people that are working day to day. It's just a form of taxation. And if we can solve the government spending problem, we'll solve the inflation problem, which means people will have a better standard of living, and that's a really big deal.
Well, the people that got hurt worst are the people that did it the way they were taught to do it all through their younger life and their young life and their whole life.
People who got hurt worst are the people who did exactly what they were taught to do by the system. What if you and I had a message since the dawn of our fame? Our message has been, you cannot obey what the Matrix teaches you. Listen to what Trump just said to Elon Musk, the richest man in the world. The people who suffered most are the people who believed in the system and were following the path that was laid out for them in regards to how to become wealthy, to go to school, to try hard, to get in debt, to get a university degree, to leave with that education expecting to get a good paying job, to get a mortgage, to take on more debt, and then to in this permanent state of enslavement, attempt to pay off your student loan and your mortgage, hoping that one day you're going to be a homeowner or a landowner.
If only there were two brothers on the internet who for the last 6 years have been telling you this.
Trump just highlighted to the world that following the path the Matrix lays out to you is not going to allow you to become rich.
It would only work with politicians in charge who cared about their people, who made the system, set the system up in a way that it would work. It's simple.
This
Thank
is
you.
Make the rules
Thank you.
to benefit
I couldn't have
themselves.
said
You need
that
politicians
so
who
much
make
better.
rules to benefit the
I
populace.
couldn't have
and
said that
you
much
can't
better.
rely on anyone but yourself. This is why we say escape the matrix. This is why.
Folks, I cannot say that much better. You guys got to get out the matrix. You guys are stuck listening to this program, thinking you're going to make it out, doing it the way you think you're going to do it. It's not going to happen like that. It's not going to happen like that. I need my people, my native people, to wake up. They need to wake up. We got to unite. You got to be smarter. Wake up. Get out the matrix. You hear it. You hear it from these people from overseas. People are not American. Andrew Tate's not American. He's not American. He's telling you what the system is. Come on, people.
Why we teach you how to make money with our modern wealth creation methods inside of the real world. We teach you how to make
Is a real world student. He spent less than a few $100 on his education. He has zero debt, and he has a very high paying job now with arguably one of the most important media figures in the world. And if you are rich and successful and you listen to us, by all means, there's perhaps no need to be inside of the real world. But if you are not rich and if you are not successful and you listen to us and you are not inside of the real world, you are a dumb faggot. And I'd like you to know that.
what you are is what we were talking about earlier. If you are listening to us and you understand that what Trump, the most successful president in history, is saying regarding the fact that the matrix orientated path to wealth does not work, and the richest man in the world is agreeing with him, and us here are telling you that there is another path inside of the real world. If you are not taking that path, you are by definition a loser, because you are going to lose. We talked earlier objectively about the fact that loser is a tangible, real definition for some people on this planet, and some people are. If you are losing, you're going to be seen as a loser and be called a loser by anyone who is honest. It's extremely important what Trump just said. Please listen. The most successful president in history just told the richest man in the world that the path the matrix lays out to you for wealth does not work.
Those are the people who got hurt the most.
The people who got hurt the most were the people who took the safe option. So you think of it as a safe option to get an education, to get a degree, to have a backup, to get a job, to get a mortgage. It's actually the least safe option. It's not risky to join university.com. It's risky to not join university.com. It's risky to follow the path they laid out for you, because the most successful president in history and the richest man in the world just confirmed it. Absolutely incredible.
We really got the brunt of it. But people don't realize more people died during his administration than ours. But it diverted us from doing what I wanted to do. But we had the greatest for, almost 3 years. We had the great, and you know that probably better than anybody. So many of your friends said to me, the best years we've ever had in business were during the Trump years. And also said that African-American, Hispanic-American were so incredible. They were having the best Asian-American women, men, young people without a diploma, young people that graduated from the best colleges, from MIT, from the Wharton School, from all of the great colleges, Harvard. They were doing better, and people without a diploma were doing better. And everybody was happy. And then COVID came, and we had the problem is they spent trillions and trillions of dollars. They wasted. They shouldn't have taken any money, and we wouldn't be having inflation right now, which is killing our country.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I should probably say something about maybe my views on climate change and oil and gas, because I think I'm probably different from what most people would assume. Because my views are actually pretty, I think, moderate in this regard, which is that I don't think we.
Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in, Dead Wolves Gaming. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in. This is just Professor Ghost. It's your boy Professor Ghost, PG in the building from DC, Southside. But this is my little review, right quick. My political review. Touchdowns. I'm at Andrew Tate live. Fucks with Andrew Tate hard, man. If y'all don't know, one of the most realest, wokest. And he ain't even American. And he love touching and trying to help us. Like, you feel me?
we should vilify the oil and gas industry, and it would help with prosperity in the U.S.
Out on YouTube.
And at the same time, obviously, my view is like we do over time want to move to a sustainable energy economy, because eventually you do run out of. I mean, you run out of oil and gas. It's not there. It's not infinite. And there is some risk. I think the risk is not as high as a lot of people say it is with respect to global warming. But I think if you just keep increasing the parts per million in the atmosphere long enough, eventually it actually simply gets uncomfortable to breathe. People don't realize this. If you go past 1,000 parts per million of CO2, you start getting headaches and nausea.
Yeah,
and so we're now in the sort of 400 range. We're adding, I think, about roughly 2 parts per million per year. So I mean, it still gives us. So what it means is like we still have quite a bit of time, but so there's not like we don't need to rush and we don't need to stop farmers from farming or prevent people from having steaks or basic stuff like that. Like you can leave the farmers alone.
I agree. How crazy is that? Where
I mean,
very
you have
important.
farmers.
Remember our emergency meeting
allowed
about farmers? Yeah. Anyone who watches our show talking about if you're going to attack the people who grow
7
the
or 8
food,
months ago.
you've lost your mind.
And if you're attacking oil and gas, I want you to understand something. How much food people can grow is always limited by something. It's limited by something. And up until the invention of tractors, which are powered by diesel, it was limited by how far a yak or an ox or a horse can drag a plow in one day steered by a person. That was the limit on how much food a land plot could produce. How far a horse or an ox or a yak could drag a plow in one day steered by a human. Now, tractors are amazing. Our agriculture is amazing, but diesel needs to be affordable and diesel needs to be readily available for all of our farmers, ideally for cost price with no profit involved at all, so these people can grow as much food as possible. But any stifling of that is quite literally suicide for the human race.
That's bigger, or they think it could be bigger than Saudi Arabia in Alaska. Could be bigger than Saudi Arabia. But they went in and they terminated it, and I'll get it going very quickly because not only is it big for Alaska, I mean,
all right, so he's about to touch on something. Let me say this real quick. Let me touch on that real quick. So what he's basically saying is the food infrastructure. So do you guys understand? We are in America, and my American viewers, we get an alert every day about some type of food to be looking out for. Do you know how long that's been going on? Do you know how long our food has been attacked? There's not been such thing as real food in America for so long. We are eating imitation food. Our car industry is not American. Detroit lost it. Like, you guys understand, like, World War III has already started. It been started. We've been lost the war. We are divided. It is so hard for us as a country to come together right now. Do y'all guys understand that? You guys go outside and see the separation. Go outside of your door. Look up from your phone. I'm trying to wake you guys up. This stream is a wake-up stream. I really want you guys to understand the path that we're fucking going down. Especially if you guys think, oh, we want a female in the office. Like, do you guys really understand what would happen? Like, all right. Hold on. I think I need to give you guys like a little fresher review or something. I don't know. Let me see. Because I really want you guys to understand. It's crazy. I really want you guys to understand this. All right. So it really won't go the way you guys think it won't. So when Trump won, do you guys understand what happened when Trump won? What the Republicans did? Like, let me show you. So they always want to talk about January 6th. Okay, we can talk about January 6th, but we never talk about what happened in DC when Trump won, though. They don't want to talk about that. And a lot of people in DC didn't even know about it because they don't come to the hood. They're like I was saying, like they'll never come to the hood. They don't come down with the effect the real natives of the city. Like it never really hit home. Like they say it on the news, it don't hit home. It just hit home for the Caucasian people. Like that's in the districts, in the money districts. That's what they hit. That's what they talk about. Where the news don't come to the hood, where you know the real heart of the city, the people of the city really is. Like they don't really come down here to it with us. But let me show you guys something though. Let me share something with y'all. Cause I don't really like the narrative, like the negative narrative Trump gets. And don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I am 100% a Trump lover. Y'all thought I hate Trump? No, that man did nothing but good things, and you guys know it. He made So look. You wanna know what's so bad? You ever know why y'all hate him so bad? Because he's the first president to put other people onto his scheme just so he can get out of trouble, and made everybody else rich at the same time and covered his ass. You guys mad about that? He used America as an alibi, made y'all look stupid, and gave y'all money at the same time. And y'all hate this man. Come on, man. Y'all is wild and crazy. This man that man fed y'all kids, man. Stop hating that man, bro. Y'all vote Kamala. Yeah, y'all going against my man. Y'all going against Dead Wolves, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, bro. I'm not speaking for my brother. My brother can't have no political view, but what's right is right, bro. What's smart is smart. Kamala Harris talks about buses. Let me show you guys like one of my favorite. Let me show you guys two things. Hold on. I show you guys two things. Hold on. Oh my God. Hold on. Where is she at? Hey, yo, oh my God, she kills me. She kills me, yo. Shorty with the lefties. Oh my God, with the lefties. Yo, she be killing me. Hold on, yo. Hey, hold on. Let me see. With y'all, hey. I'm about to show y'all. So Shorty is a killer. This is my girl. She's funny as hell. She's in Sky News, yo. Shout out to Sky News Australia, yo. To keep it real, yo. Shorty is like that. She's funny as hell. Okay. Let me show y'all. Let me see. Where is it? Lefties losing it. You know what? Here we go. I had to show y'all this. Where is it? Here you go. Oh my God.
Welcome to an entire program devoted to lefties
now
losing it.
Yeah.
Let's start with another neo-pronoun lesson. Do you ever feel like your gender is a star? Well, that's completely valid.
We literally live in a capitalist hellhole. If somebody doesn't have the correct words to express how their gender identity feels, and the best way they can describe that is it feels like a star, my gender feels like a star, okay, valid, sure. I really don't see the problem at all. My only asterisk, or like my only little note, is if you use a lot of neo-pronouns interchangeably, and this is not to crap on neo-pronouns, I'm reading a lot about gender studies, I have been lately, I'm having my own little gender identity crisis. Neo-pronouns might be something that helps me personally, and that's a different TikTok for a different time. The point is, is neopronouns are valid, but if you use a lot of them interchangeably depending on how you're feeling that day, be patient with people. Rapid change like that can be difficult for a lot of people, and especially people with learning disabilities or other disabilities. So just be patient, maybe work on ways that you can express the pronouns that you're feeling that day, name tag, bracelet, earrings, different things. You are still incredibly valid, you just maybe need to be a little bit patient while the rest of the world is catching up.
Yeah, you're so incredibly valid. Just remember that.
Man,
now
that's
to the
super
Eurovision contest. Remember when it was just a joyful freak show of song and dance? Well, now it's just become a freak show, a hateful anti-Israeli one where one lone performer representing Israel was mercilessly bullied by the crowd who booed her, by fellow contestants, and even commie troll Greta Thunberg.
Here to show that we think it is outrageous and inexcusable for Eurovision to let Israel participate while committing a genocide. Yes, it's a song contest where Israel, a country that is currently committing a genocide in Gaza, are allowed to compete. Yeah, that is a very clear example that does say that when a country accepts in a way that, when a country behaves in a way that is unacceptable, then Eurovision excludes them. So why not Israel?
Not even actually.
She really is a miserable little doom goblin, isn't she? And how wonderful to see her go from climate expert to Middle East expert. And she really believes she's saving the world by encouraging kids to waste their lives getting themselves arrested, this time for trying to stop a woman singing.
I think they should be everywhere. And once again, young people are leading the way, showing the world how we should react to this.
But it wasn't just Greta. The Israeli performer Eden Golan was also bullied by other contestants, including this 30-something child representing Greece, pretending to fall asleep when media asked Eden a question.
Yes, very happy. How do you feel after?
Oh no, chat. I ain't gonna let y'all down though. We
situation in Israel.
We about
to you know how it is.
I'm about to show y'all girl though. Y'all ain't gonna sit here and tell me this shit. My bad, y'all. My bad. Had to talk business. Sorry, lad. Sorry. Got a family to raise. Hers.
Another oddity that's becoming all too familiar is the US Vice President Kamala Harris talking like a simpleton. Have a look at what Harris had to say during a speech to talk up new school buses.
No exhaust, no diesel smell. The bus has Wi-Fi and even USB outlets next to every seat. I mean, come on, imagine. You can charge your phone on your way home from work.
Why is she so fucking excited? If that didn't set us back 100 fucking years, my God, people, y'all want to talk about fucking Trump? What the fuck? Yo, all right, all right, Mo. This is my platform. It's my opinion. The fuck out of here. She is not leading my country. I swear to fucking God. Yo, y'all talk about Trump. Trump ain't say not one racist thing. Anything y'all want that y'all think he said racist, bring it up in a fucking debate with me. And I'm gonna show you why it wasn't racist. And this man is a perfect businessman. That is pure fucking racism. And I don't want to give a fuck. Oh, I don't want to hear, oh, she's colored. Oh, no. Fuck that. Do you hear Trump trying to appease his white fucking folks with oh, I got a Picasso, I made the Picasso more Picasso, like some rich shit made more richier, like the fuck, like come on, man, stop the bullshit, man, wake the fuck up, America. Like, yo, I don't think y'all hear this shit again. I don't think y'all heard her. This is fucking Australian news, people. This is people overseas that's looking at us. Like, come the fuck on, man. Come the fuck on, man. Listen to this shit.
No exhaust, no diesel smell. The bus has Wi-Fi and even USB outlets next to every seat. I mean, come on, imagine. You can charge your phone on your way home from work. That's good stuff.
The fuck, they're audacity.
Just imagine.
Yo, imagine. Yo, I thought I was just right there again. Like, yo, what the fuck? Like, yo, you wildin', shorty, you wildin'. Shorty wildin'. Shorty, you up there wildin'. What the fuck? You could have talked about anything else at the cookout but a fucking USB port on a bus. If you ain't set us the fuck back, I swear to God, man.
A heartbeat away from the presidency.
Has Wi-Fi and no exhaust,
look at her face,
no diesel smell.
Look at her.
The bus has Wi-Fi.
He was so serious about that shit too, Mo. That's what makes me mad about it. It wasn't like, oh, she was joking. No, she went in full fucking detail. Like, Native people history with the bus fucking company. Our history. And you go up there. Look at her face. Look at that face. Hey, yo. Hey, chat. You see that face, man? Fuck that. I swear to God, I don't want that up there. Hold on, chat. Yeah, hey, chat. Let that run, chat.
No exhaust.
Hey, one more time, chat, man.
Oddity that's becoming all too familiar is the US Vice President Kamala Harris talking like a simpleton. Have a look at what Harris had to say during a speech to talk up new school buses.
No exhaust, no diesel smell. The bus has Wi-Fi and even USB outlets next to every seat. I mean, come on, imagine. You can charge your phone on your way home from work. That's good stuff.
Just imagine. She's a failed heartbeat away from the presidency, folks.
Now it's time for Lefties Losing It. We're about to delve into the twisted world of Kamala's Veep pick. But first, remember when Ricky Gervais told the Hollywood elite to not preach about politics? No one cares about their warped views. But sadly, they didn't listen. Here is Hollywood A-lister, Kamala fanboy, and lefty losing it, Ben Stiller.
And she's also a historic candidate. It's going to be the first woman president. And that's incredibly exciting. And, she's Indian, she's black, she's everything. You can be more than one thing. It's incredible. You know, I'm Jewish and Irish. I wish I was black. Every white Jewish guy wishes he was black.
A Jewish comic blindly following a party with an anti-Semitic problem that runs so deep that Kamala didn't pick the, well, pretty much universally acknowledged best candidate, Josh Shapiro, who could have helped her secure the crucial state of Pennsylvania, where he is governor with a 60% approval rating. But he's Jewish, and that is a problem for the Democrats, one that even CNN acknowledged.
Pennsylvania's Governor Josh Shapiro is being discussed as one of Harris's potential running mates. He also endorsed her tonight. In your view, what are the pros and cons for putting him on the ticket?
Well, he's certainly under consideration. I know that from Key Harris.
My bad. All right. I got distracted. I got sidetracked. I had some other stuff. I'm sorry. I'm back. Calm down. All right. So, yeah.
Another oddity that's becoming all too familiar is the US Vice President.
Hey, stop it. She talks about a bus. Like, come on, man. All right, if that's not enough, hold on, man. Let me show you.
Welcome to a program devoted entirely to lefties losing it.
Let me show you
Let's start with the bad news that the former Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, appears to be overindulging again. How else does one explain this performance where she told CBS that Joe Biden is so good he deserves a place at Mount Rushmore, along the likes of Lincoln, Washington, and Jefferson.
Such a consequential president of the United States, a Mount Rushmore kind of president of the United States. Want to know what comes next?
That he belongs up there on Mount Rushmore, Lincoln and Joe Biden.
But you got Teddy Roosevelt up there, and he's wonderful. I don't say take him down, but you can add Biden.
Mount Rushmore. She said there Biden was at the top of his game and among the most consequential presidents. Then why did she play a key part in the plot to remove him as the Democrats' nominee, even after he secured more than 14 million primary votes? Talk about threats to democracy. We will get back to the Democrats shortly, but first let's check in with one of our favourite trans activists explaining the science of dudes giving birth. Apparently, it's not a matter of if, but when.
Trans women getting pregnant is not as far off as you'd think. In the past 10 years, 50 babies.
All right. I'm sorry, chat. I'm sorry. I'm a grown ass man. I gotta take this shit in. I'm sorry, chat. I'm a real man. Hold up. I'm sorry. What the fuck did he just say? I'm sorry, chat. No, all they women wearing this shit, bro, cause still talking. Let me stop.
Babies have been born from a uterus transplant. So far, these implants have only been attempted on cis women, but there's nothing that says it couldn't work on a trans woman. After all, my hormone levels are pretty similar to a cisgender woman, so why not? The main thing in the way is that the science is new, so there aren't enough surgeons out there to do the testing. So it's less about if we can do it and more about when we can do it. Imagine a trans woman using her own DNA along with her partner's egg to create life. Wouldn't that be incredible?
Incredible. I have some other words I would have used. And we're also told by other trans activists that men identifying as women can have periods.
Once a month, trans women will experience what is known as a period. Some astute viewers might notice that most trans women don't have a uterus, let alone an ovaries or anything along the lines of that. But that doesn't change the fact that they are experiencing a period.
Look, I'm not sure why anyone wants to pretend to have a menstrual cycle when they clearly don't, but here's a reality check. If you don't have ovaries, you ain't getting periods. Now, back to the Democrats and their propaganda arm, the overwhelming majority of the media, who continue with their race obsessions. Here's former Democrat operative and now an ABC host, George Stephanopoulos, yelling at Byron Donalds. Here's another lefty losing it.
There were a lot of people who are trying to figure this out. But again, that's a side issue, not the main issue. The main issue.
Sir, 1 second. You just did it. You just did it again.
Of the United States.
Why do you insist on questioning her racial identity?
You want me to talk?
I want you to answer my question.
Done yelling at George, now that you're done yelling at me, let me answer.
Oh dear, there's about another 4 minutes of George losing it, asking about race, and then getting upset when Byron Donalds answers his questions. White men yelling at black folk is, vintage Democrats, isn't it? Who continue with their race obsessions. Here's former Democrat operative and now an ABC host, George Stephanopoulos, yelling at Byron Donalds. Here's another lefty losing it.
There were a lot of people who are trying to figure this out. But again, that's a side issue, not the main issue. The main issue.
Sir, 1 second. You just did it. You just did it again.
Of the United States.
Why do you insist on questioning her racial identity?
You want me to talk?
I want you to answer my question.
Done yelling at George, now that you're done yelling at me, let me answer.
Oh dear, there's about another 4 minutes of George losing it, asking about race, and then getting upset when Byron Donalds answers his questions. White men yelling at black folk is, vintage Democrats, isn't it? And CNN have joined in. They sent out a reporter in a Michael Jordan T-shirt to a barber shop. And when the black workers there and the customers didn't give them the answers they wanted, a white dude on camera called them low information voters.
Is Kamala going to make you a little more likely or less likely to vote Democrat?
Hold on, Ray. Is Kamala black? Yes or no?
I'm going to let her speak on that. But to me, no.
That's crazy.
Is Kamala black? Yes or no?
Wow.
I share that same view.
Wow. Is Kamala black? Yes or no?
I heard she was. I heard she's half black.
Bruh. When did we get to the point where we have to question all right, America, come on, chat. All right. All right, this for my natives, man. When did we ever had to fucking skin check our own people? Just because they look like us don't mean they us. They not like us. I don't give a fuck if it was her job. She took that job for a reason, to prosecute black people, because it was easy for her. It's easy. You guys understand how the system works? Come on, guys. Y'all gotta wake up, man. Pay attention, man. They're in the middle of a barbershop.
Black and half Asian.
When I played that audio on my SiriusXM radio program on Thursday, many callers who self-identified as African American were quick to tell me that those men were the exception, not the rule.
We're not African American, and those weren't African American. Those were Native Americans. We're no Africans. We're not African. Just wanted to let y'all know that. I hate hearing that. We're not African American. We're Native American. Stop getting it confused. Stop thinking. Stop checking in that ethnicity box when you go to a job interview and you sign that job application. You put Native, okay? Because you're not African. Think about that, okay? Next time you look at that ethnicity box, think about your family. Do you got an African aunt, uncle, grandpa, grandma? No. Not Native. to this country. Sound like Native Americans, not African. Man, wake up, man. That's so simple. Just wake up, y'all.
Some describe them as low information voters, no different than you'd find among whites.
Amazing stuff there from CNN. And the same DEI enthusiasts who insisted that Joe Biden pick a black female VP in 2020 are now outraged that Kamala Harris would be seen as a DEI pick.
Are you committed to naming a black woman as your vice presidential running mate? What makes this so ugly is that it reveals a truth that is clearly broadly held within Republican circles. That white men, by definition, when they have a job, earned it and deserve it. And anybody but a white man is a DEI hire.
You know what? There are a growing number of people from all backgrounds, including plenty of black men, who know that DEI is not only racist, it's actually not good for them. It's often affluent white.
Chat, that's crazy. It's crazy. That's crazy. Let me switch up the flow real quick. So let's see. All right, now what I'm showing you guys, okay, right now is back when Trump won his first term. Okay, now we got to be fair. We're going to be fair and equal, okay? So we talk about January 6th, okay? All right, January 6th. We got that. We got that. We got that. I'm gonna explain that whole nother. I'm gonna dwell in that in another stream. I'm gonna explain the truth about that with facts and everything for everybody to see. Because I hate when people just leave us on cliffhangers, say it's in the description. No, here, dear boys, on the review side, Professor Ghost, named Professor for a reason. I dove in, I do my research, and I'm only here to spread the real knowledge. It's real facts. And you guys could go back and forth with me if you want. Like, come on. Fact check me. We can go back and forth, baby. I don't need the internet all the way. I got more deeper sources than this, but this right here is like, it's just all the truth you really need. So,
The whole world is watching.
you guys understand this? See?
No KKK, no fascist USA. No Trump. No KKK, no fascist USA. Tate, love Trump, Tate, love Trump, Tate, love Trump, Tate, love Trump, Tate.
Whoa, the fact, hey, it's like even after he won the presidency, it was the same thing on the other side of the party. You guys not seeing this shit? You guys not understand like how stupid America is? You guys, oh my God, wake the fuck up. Oh my God. They do the same shit over and over every year. You guys just run with it. Yeah, like America is nothing like America is TikTok. 30-second memory. He just do it again. It's brand new to Americans. Oh my God. That could just be more just blatant for you guys right there. Like seriously. Oh, I'm sorry. Like You guys didn't understand that right there. Like, that's what it was. Like, the same thing happened. It all right. Those are just tuning in. Thanks for tuning in. Dead Wolves Gaming. I'm gonna get back to the Andrew Tate live, but I just wanted to show guys that was tuned in. You know, some I was been like show them like I'm biased, but facts is facts. It's not a popularity contest, America. Trump, it needs to be in office. This woman talks about buses. Man. Boy. Don't get me started on her policies. Don't. Let's get back to Andrew Tate, man. Let's get back to Andrew Tate.
About
Yeah.
three. And meanwhile, the New York spending massive resources prosecuting you, and it's like, what's this? And I think the sort of sensible looks at this and says, what the heck's going on here? This is obviously abuse of the legal system. The legal system is supposed to be protecting the public from violent criminals. And it should be obviously allowing the public to make their own decision about who should be president, as opposed to, some, legal case.
Once they start this precedent, because this can go on with the next one. I mean, this is a very bad precedent, what they're doing in terms of, going after their political opponent. And that's all it is. It's going after their political opponent.
Banana Republic.
And then you get a judge
who's set the legal system on
a strong Democrat, and I'm being nice when I that in many cases crooked
is
as hell.
literally the
But you
death
get a
throes
judge
of
and you go
democracy
into an area
when people
where
can't
a
run
Republican
against
gets
each other in a
3 or 4%
democratic
of the
system
vote,
without facing lawfare.
and you'll have a jury pool with people that hate Republicans or hate. It could also be the other way, though, because it could start the other way in areas where they hate Democrats.
Exactly.
And you get into a Pandora's box. It's a very dangerous thing for this country, and a very dangerous thing even for the state. New York City is losing. New York City and state lose a lot of business over what they did to me, because these people say, we don't want that to happen to us. That's no justice system. You have an unfair system of justice, and it's costing New York State a tremendous amount of money. People are leaving and companies are leaving, and they won't come back. So, all of that stuff is important. But the economy now is the big thing, and we can turn that economy up so fast, and people are going to be back again. We're going to get rid of inflation.
I think there's a lot of opportunity.
Right. Absolutely. You have definitely got a fertile mind. We can talk. You and I can talk about rockets.
Well, it's kind of you to say thank you.
Tunnels. We can talk about tunnels and rockets and electric cars. So many things. And now you're into the AI, and that's going to be another beauty, I'll say. So it's an amazing thing you've done, Elon. It's an amazing thing, and I congratulate you.
I mean, thank you. And I just say here, here's to an exciting, inspiring future that people can look forward to and be optimistic and excited about what happens next. And that's the kind of future that I think you will bring as president, and that's why I endorse you.
Well, I appreciate that. That endorsement meant a lot to me. Not all endorsements mean that much, to be honest. Your endorsement meant a lot. And, we have a phrase, make America great again. It's pretty simple, but it really says that we want to make America great again. And we can do it.
Seriously, Mo.
We can do it now.
We need to make America great again. Like, oh my God, we got to make America great again. Please make America great again. I never took it as racist when he first made that phrase. It was the best business slogan is a fucking president. You guys understand? This man came in and fucked the game up. This man showed me, he gave me motivation. I used to be a drywaller, a commercial drywaller, and a forklift, warehouse forklift driver for 17, going on 18 years. Trump came along. I got hurt. Now I'm a computer programmer, certified, licensed. And it was all paid by the state. Thanks to Trump. Hey, I am 100 times smarter than what I was last year. Oh man, it's crazy. It's crazy. And y'all won't work against this man. 2024 Trump, man.
We're going to suffer another 4 years like we suffered for the last 4 years. I'm not sure the country can ever come back. That's how bad it is. It's so bad. We have to do.
I think that's a very real risk.
Yeah, it's a big risk.
That's a very real risk.
Yeah.
Most important election of our lifetime.
You know, I'd just like to note to people listening, like
Most
I've not
important election
been
in American and Western hegemony's history. Yeah.
my record. I've actually been. I'm not like some they try to paint me as like a far right guy, which is absurd because I'm like making electric vehicles and solar and batteries, helping with the environment, and I actually I supported Obama. I stood in line for 6 hours to shake Obama's hand when he was running for president, and so it's not like I'm like some sort of dyed-in-the-wool long-term Republican. I call myself historically a moderate Democrat, but now I feel like we're really at a critical juncture for the country, I think a lot of people thought the Biden administration would be a moderate administration, but it's not, and obviously we were just going to see an even further left administration with Kamala. That's my honest opinion. I mean, her dad is literally. She was brought up as an actual. Her dad is a Marxist economist. You can Google it. I mean, it's not we're not making this up. That's how she was brought up. So, and we want to have a future that is prosperous. And I think we're just at this critical juncture. And I think this is a case of the America is going to at a fork in the road, and
true.
And I think it will take the path to, like, you are the path to prosperity, and I think Kamala is the opposite. Then that's my honest opinion. I'm gonna get attacked like crazy, and I've also experienced quite a bit of lawfare myself, but I'm just trying to tell people my honest opinion, and I haven't been really active in politics before. And I'm just trying to point out that my track record historically has been moderate, if not moderate, slightly left. And so this is to people out there who are in the moderate camp to say, I think you should support Donald Trump for president. And I think it's actually a very important junction in the road, and we're in deep trouble if it goes the other way.
Well, I want to thank you. And, I actually always did think of you as somewhat left. I must say that. So it's
Yeah.
even more of an honor to have your endorsement. I know how strong you feel about it. But, when you think of her, San Francisco 15 years ago, I had a great friend, Bob Tisch. He said it's the greatest city in America. And now it's almost not livable there. And California likewise. And she was involved in the destruction of San Francisco and the destruction of California. And she will be involved in the destruction of our country if people are so unwise as to elect her. And I hope that doesn't happen. And I hope.
Yeah, and do people, do you already do y'all know what's really the truth of that? Like what Trump just said, you go to California, they hate Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris' name is top op in California. She's top op there. I don't think if y'all know if you become top op in California, I think you got to keep stressing that.
Hope the elections are going to be run honestly, and we're going to turn this country around. We're going to do things and we can do it fairly quickly. And we have to get rid of the criminals that have been, given to us by other countries as they laugh. They laugh at us. They think we're stupid to accept these people. These are radical, stone cold killers in many cases and terrorists. And they're in our country by the hundreds of thousands.
Yeah.
And we have to take them out.
What a scary thought.
Yeah, I mean, if I could,
It's a very scary thought that killers from third world nations are in the country in the hundreds
Roaming
of thousands,
the streets.
roaming the streets amongst you. If you go to a mall, you're going to walk past some. Incredible, truly incredible, and absolutely avoidable.
We want to restore both the perception and reality of respect in the judicial system. Just stop the lawfare, and I think that's like. And how are those even right-wing positions? I think those are just that's just common sense, and that's. I mean, would you agree with that?
100%. I don't understand. The whole. They call it progressive. They don't like the word liberal anymore, but call it liberal or progressive. I don't understand how somebody could say that it's okay for them to empty prisons into our country. And again, I told you their crime rates all over the world are going way down, which makes sense. In fact, the next time what we'll do.
How can you logically defend that? Like you said, nothing in this space can be really refuted.
Besides perhaps Israel. Okay, so we'll go. You and I will go, and we'll have a meeting and dinner in Venezuela because that's what's happening. Their crime rate's coming down, and our crime rate's going through the roof. And it's so simple. And you haven't seen anything yet because these people have come into our country and they're just getting acclimated, and they don't know about being politically correct law enforcement or lack of law enforcement. And our police, I have to just end with this. We have great police. We have great law enforcement, but they're not allowed to do their job. They have to be able to do their job without being destroyed.
Well, absolutely. And it's obviously demoralizing if you're a police officer risking your life to arrest violent criminals who could kill you and do kill you sometimes, and then you arrest the violent criminal, and then the DA doesn't prosecute and just let the guy out.
Yeah.
Well, then why should a police officer risk their life to arrest a violent felon?
Well, even worse, Elon,
nothing's going to happen.
Even worse, they prosecute the police officer. They after it, and they prosecute the police officer, and they take away his pension, they take away his job, he loses his family, he loses his house.
Well, I thought it was very telling, like incredibly telling, that when there was that case where sort of a gang of thugs beat up police officers. I think it was in Times Square in New York, and nothing happened to those guys. They were let out, zero bail, and I think a bunch of them were given free tickets to California. Well, what is I mean, that is a gross indignity against the United States, and that's how. I mean, this is insane. And like, have we lost all pride? How can such a thing be allowed to occur?
I've never seen anything. We see where they get shot. It's a very dangerous profession, but something they're very proud of, and they want to be able to do their job. But I've seen them get shot. I've seen a lot of things, but I've never seen where these guys are standing in the middle of a big street. Everybody.
Welcome, Dead Wolves Gaming. You tuned in. Professor Ghost is Andrew Tate, Donald Trump review.
Watching them, and they're literally boxing, like punching stand up fighting a police officer. There were two of them, and you had about six of these guys, and they're punching the hell out of them. And in their own country, they would be dead if they did that. They'd be shot.
Shot on the spot.
They would be shot instantly. And, you know, they come from these countries, and it's taking them a while to realize that we don't do that in this country. But in their own country, if they stood on a street and had a fight with the police officer, they would be shot.
Yeah.
There's no political correctness.
No.
And it's such a sad, it's such a sad thing to see.
It's like, do you people understand that? Like, there's a difference between these American criminals than these overseas criminals. These overseas criminals know more. They know their fucking role in this world. All right? America here, guys, we're just too pampered. Guys don't really know what it's like. It's too many like amendments and these fake ass bullshit, like all that bullshit. That shit don't make you free. It should make you shit free, but it pamper you just other than what it's like on the real world in these other countries. Like what he said, they commit a crime, they can get shot, killed right there on the spot. Now here in America, we got a justice system.
And that's the reason you have crime, by the way, because we don't do anything about it.
Yeah, we just cannot have a situation where our police officers are beaten up on camera by, you know, a gang of illegal immigrants, and then nothing happens to the guys that beat up the cops. I mean, and they're let out. This is unacceptable.
Well, we're going to change it, and we're going to get them out of the country. You know, when I first got involved, they said you couldn't get them back to these countries. You couldn't take them back. In the case of Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, some others, you couldn't get them back. And I said, really? Oh, you can't get them back? Because under Obama, he couldn't get them back. They'd fly them in, and they'd put planes on the runways in these countries so you couldn't land a plane. They'd bring them back. And the generals told me, sir, we can't bring them back. The countries won't accept MS-13 gang members. They won't accept them. And I said, really, how much do we pay these various countries in terms of economic aid, which is also somewhat ridiculous? And the answer was $750 million. I said, good. Tell them they're in default. They're delinquent. We're not paying them anymore because they won't accept it. And you know what happened? They all called me. Every one of them, they said, we would be honored to take them back, sir. We would be.
All right, so basically in layman's terms, let me break that down to layman's terms, okay? So it's like this. America, we're the biggest parent, all right? We want to watch kids when we want kids, right? These other countries, they having kids, but we paying them to keep their kids. And if you want your kids to come over here, our house, they better be raised a certain type of way. Because we the ones giving you money to keep you know, we're doing our part. As you know, it's the baby daddy or baby mama. You feel me? But when the kids come over to my house and start fucking up, the fuck you think gonna pay for this shit? I'm paying you to take care of these motherfuckers and raise them and teach them a certain way. You feel me? I gotta understand this shit. Y'all want to play this politic game? Y'all gotta understand this shit, even from the fucking most basic term. This is not a game, people.
It was so easy, but it's one of those things. And we got it back. We took in so many. You know, the MS-13 is probably the worst gangs in the world. They're the most vicious, violent. We took them out of here by the thousands and got them out of here, and their countries took them back. And because I said, you're not getting any more economic aid. And once I said that, they were nice. They wouldn't take them back for Obama. They wouldn't take them back for anybody. And now we have a problem because we have this guy, and they don't take them back anymore with Biden because they don't respect him.
Yeah. It's just gotta be done. We just can't have whether they're citizens or not citizens. We can't have because they won't prosecute citizens either. Not just illegals.
I need my money back.
If it's you can't have violent.
I don't know about y'all. I missed that check. That stimulus check. That shit was real. And you see, ever since Trump out of office, all they do is tease us about a stimulus check. Now they tease us, never give no money out. Trump did it. Trump ain't tease us.
Repeat violent offenders that are not that don't get incarcerated.
That's right.
Because they will obviously, by definition, continue to hurt people. And I think where part of this comes from is that there's I do sort of consider myself liberal in some ways. I mean, it's just that you want to have empathy for people. Obviously, you want to have empathy for people. I totally agree with that. You want to have empathy, but you also have to have empathy for the victims of the criminals.
Absolutely.
And if you just have empathy
human
for
rights to the people who are getting murdered, it's not empathetic, and you're not morally superior to say that people looking for a better life can invade a country because a certain subsect of that invasion force then murders the natives. You're not a good person if you sit and say we need to let people in because they're refugees, because sometimes those refugees kill the native people who lived there before.
Yep.
This is what's so insane, that these people think they have the moral high ground advocating for invasion of their nations, when it's absolutely the opposite. You should advocate for the human rights of the people who permanently and natively occupy that land.
Whose ancestors built the country.
Whose ancestors built the country. You should not be advocating for the human rights of people who you don't know, especially when you do not know their background. Do not.
That is such the fucking truth. That is such the truth. And it's like, it's the main people that say, it's the people that point out other people that want to be racist. Those are the real fucking racists. Those are the real fucking racists.
Not ever get confused and let liberals pretend they have moral high ground when they support refugees, because they don't. Because they're increasing crime, they're destroying communities, they're destroying public services, schools, transport, hospitals. Police are overrun.
And this is the Democratic Party they're talking about. I never noticed that until I got grown and fully aware and acknowledgeable of the government and politics. Like, we've been living a lie, and I live in DC, the heart of the politics. And and they keep us dumbed down. They do their best to try to keep us dumbed down here. You hear me? But I stay woke. Me and Conway. Hey, shout out to Conway. Shout out to Conway, another woke brother in the city.
They are not good people advocating for this. And they try and take the moral high ground every single time and pretend they're more empathetic than you, but it's not the case. You'll often see this with most things in life. They'll call you hateful if you love something. If you don't want people to invade your country, they say you hate immigrants, but it's not true. What actually is happening is you love your country. Most of the time they call you hateful. Really, they're just failing to identify or purposely failing to mention the things that you do love. These people do not have moral high ground over those who want the border closed. They do not have moral high ground over those who believe in law and order and conservatism. And we need to stop pretending that they're more empathetic than us or they're more soft-willed than us. And we say, they're misguided because they're too empathetic. No, they actually lack empathy. And they lack empathy for the people they should be loyal to. It's truly disgusting, actually. They're traitors and they're cowards. They betray their common man to have a false morality and a false empathy so they, for their own ego, can believe they're better than other people. They're extremely selfish, bad people.
Have to go through fake trials with, in some cases, corrupt judges, totally corrupt judges. I didn't need it. I had a nice life. I have great locations. I have beautiful oceans that I have places. But I felt it was important. And if I had to do
beautiful oceans is crazy. The fact that Trump, Trump, as I say, Trump is him in 50 mode, a fucking master trollers mode. This man just took a second out of the fucking interview. The praise.
Do it over again. You probably think I'm crazy for doing it, actually. But if I had to do it over again, I would have done it over again, because this is so much more important than me or my life. We're going to save this country. This country is going down. And these people are bad people that we're running against, and they're liars. They make statements. They do things that are so bad. They say they're going to make a strong border. They say they've been great on the border, and they've been the worst in history. They say they're going to stop crime.
Like, the facts speak for themselves.
It's so incredible.
Speak for themselves. Like it's got to the point where people just don't even bother reporting crime in a lot of cities because they know nothing is going to happen. That's what I hear anecdotally from people all the time. So it's just my values. I'm just saying to people out there, like the things I think are important for the future is like we've got to have safe cities, we've got to have secure borders, we've got to have sensible spending, and we've got to have deregulation, and so we can have a prosperous future. And then we want to have some exciting, sort of moonshot projects that people can get fired up about. And that's the future I'm looking for. And I'm pro environment, but I'm not against. I'm not like I don't think we should vilify the oil and gas industry because they're keeping civilization going right now. And but I do think we want to move a reasonable speed towards a sustainable energy economy. Those are my values, and I think and so I mean that's why I'm supporting you for president.
Well, I appreciate it. We're going to give incentive to companies to come into our country, not to leave our country. We're going to be giving tremendous incentives. We want companies to build here, not to build in other locations. And we want to create jobs. And again, it's about the American dream. You don't hear about the American dream anymore, Elon. You don't hear. You're the American dream in the truest sense, but you don't hear about the American dream anymore. And you're going to hear about it. People, they need that incentive to go out and do it. And they're going to love their lives. I mean, they're going to look forward to getting up in the morning and going to a job that they love, not a job that they can't stand, or not any job at all where they have no money, where they literally have no money, and then they end up with violence and lots of other problems. No, we're going to do some great things. And I learned a lot in the first. We had a great economy and all of that. We rebuilt the military. We did so much, but I also learned the best people. I learned the good people, the smart people, the dumb people, the people that can do things. The people, you learn. When I first came in, I tell people I was in Washington D.C. only 17 times, according to the fake news media. I was in 17 times. I never stayed over. And you don't know people. You rely on other people to give you names, and then you realize the people you relied on weren't so good. Now, we had great people, but we also had some where I wouldn't have, used them had I known. Now I know everybody. And I think we're going to really turn things around fast. We have no choice. Otherwise, we're not going to have a country. And I really appreciate this. To me, it's been a lot of fun being with you. You're an amazing guy. You've done an incredible job and a great inspiration to people, a great inspiration. And I hope you keep going and just continue to do well. And we're going to have a big election coming up. And I think November 5th will be the most important day in the history of our country. I think that election will be the most important election. And I think it'll end up being maybe the most important day in the history of our country.
He's right.
Because if we don't win, I just feel so sorry for everybody.
No,
like, yo, you understand? He said he feels sorry. He's gonna not be in the country. If he don't win, he's not gonna bitch. He's not gonna be in this country. So he feels sorry. Think about that, man. Y'all got the small things, motherfuckers.
I think we're at a fork in the road of destiny of civilization, and I think we need to take the right path, and I think you're the right path. So I think that's what it comes down to.
Thank you very much, Elon. It's a great honor, and we'll do it again sometime. And it's been really fun, and I hope you got a lot of viewers. I hear you got a lot, but I hope you got a lot.
So yeah, that's us. That's what we got right there, yo. That's a Trump interview, man. That shit was cool, more insightful. Like, yo, I can't wait to show y'all my Camilla little collage. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. It's been real kicking it with y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Dead Wolves Gaming. It's your boy PG, Professor Ghost, Casper, Crooked. Catch me in the city, Southside DC, baby. You know where we be. Holla at me, baby.